Hey guys, welcome back to Kent Car Media. Today we're doing a bit of a different video. We're doing the 10 best mods that we think you can get for your MX-5. So without further ado, let's crack on. Here's Rob for number 10.
Number 10 to start off, halo rear lights for the back end. As you can see how they look really nice. So there's two ways you can achieve this. You can either split the headlight yourself and you can buy an LED ring from eBay and then do some wiring, or there is a couple guys on eBay that do sell them as a complete sort of pre-made modified headlight. I think they're around the £80 mark when I bought them, and that's what I did, and it's just bolt in, bolt out really.
So number 9 is engine bay dress up. So we've got a number of things on Rob's Mark II. We'll start from the front and work our way back. I think that's the easiest way to do it. So we've got the Dave Fab slam panel. Working back, we've got obviously hoses, upgraded silicone hoses. You can choose whatever colour you want. So Rob's gone for blue, obviously on his blue build. Looks really nice. We got the Dave Fab coolant reservoir. Replaces the old factory plastic one that obviously it goes discoloured over time, so it's a nice touch, nice metal, so it won't discolour. Then we've got obviously the rocker cover, which Rob has opted to paint white. It does need touching up at the moment, but this is all things you can do yourself, which is nice to do at home on a nice hot summer's day. Working further back, we've obviously got the gas struts. These are from IL Motorsport. I believe MX-5 parts sell them. So yeah, if you can get them from there. We've also got under here, we've got the scuttle panel from Jazz Performance, which again is a massive upgrade over OEM plastic. And he also likes to stick all his stickers on here so they're out of sight. Dave Fab washer relocation bottle for the windscreen wipers. What we've had to do is we've had to cut a hole out of the scuttle so you can still fill it up, but again it removes a lot of stuff from the engine bay that's normally quite unsightly, and yeah, it just makes it look a bit tidier. And also, without relocating these things, would have struggled to get the turbo in, so we'll touch on that at a later stage in this video.
Brings us quickly on to number 8, jacking bars. So I have a rear jacking bar on here, as you can see, in gloss white. And if you have lowered your MX-5, you'll know it makes it slightly more difficult to get off the ground when you want to use your jack. So standard options are normally obviously to jack off the rear diff or the front subframe, but when you're too low, I have to use low-rise ramps now to be able to get to both those locations, even with my low-profile jack. But having this fella pop down here means now I can just jack it straight up without having to use the ramps, which is nice. So yeah, you can get ones for the front as well. So this one is from FPM Garage. They no longer make them, but I think there are a couple. I think Drift Fab are the current guys on Facebook that make both front and rear.
Number 7 is a limited slip differential. Now there's a few different options about for the MX-5s. You can obviously buy brand new. I think Quaife make one maybe. But if you want a cheaper option, you can do like what Rob's done. He's got the Fuji diff off of the Mark II, and he's had it rebuilt by a guy in Ireland. You can find him on eBay. All he does is rebuilding differentials, so that's a very cost-effective way to get an LSD into your car. You've also got the Torsen, which I believe was from the Mark 2.5.
I think so.
Yeah, they're normally a lot stronger and don't need rebuilding, but they are also very expensive to buy. So number 6 is short shifter. Now we've installed this on my Mark 1 and Rob's Mark 2. We did have a few comments on the Mark 1 video saying that other people have installed them and they didn't like them, but we've both got on really well with ours. So it's such a nice throw. It just improves the already great box that is in the MX-5 and just makes shifting so much easier, so much lighter. You can throw it through the gears a lot quicker when you're racing them courses off the line. And yeah, we would. It's a very, very cheap mod for quite an effective result. So we would recommend them. Anyone who has an MX-5, try a short shifter. You might love it. So there are obviously other short shifters on the market. We've both got the £30 Bofi Racing one. I know another one is IRP. They're about 350 quid, but apparently they are spot on.
Right, that brings us on to number 5. We're halfway there. If you've actually bothered to get this far, well done, congratulations. Remember to like, subscribe, have a glass of water, because it's bloody hot out there right now. But number 5 for me is body styling. So in my opinion, Mark II MX-5s in particular, stock, don't look that good, other than large Tupperware kits. You might have seen them. If you haven't, Google them. They're pretty much the best OEM option in my opinion. So on this, I've got skirts, bumper, spoiler, and large rear spats. So if we start at the front, this is from IL Motorsport. It is a replica of a Bomex front bumper, made out of fiberglass. Fitment is pretty good, obviously not perfect, a little bit of a gap here, but it makes the front end a lot more aggressive, and people call this one the Baby Viper because it looks a bit like a Viper apparently.
I don't think so.
But Ollie doesn't think so, neither do I. So yeah, take that, internet. Side skirt wise, I have the small Tupperware. Don't know why they call them Tupperware, but that is what they are called. Small Tupperware side skirts. These are genuine Mazda. I mean, these aren't meant to be that expensive, but I did see someone selling one on Facebook the other day for like 250 quid, which is just ridiculous. I bought these for £8 off eBay, so something around there, probably the right ballpark. My favourite is the Holy Grail, the OEM, I'm going to say Mazda Speed rear wing, because some people say it's not Mazda Speed. So these came on limited edition Roadsters only in Japan. I think they were only sold in the Japanese market. So proper JDM wing. I picked this up. They are quite rare and very expensive. So if you want one and you see one for sale, expect to pay around 500 to 600 British pounds. And then you'll have to paint it as well. And it'll probably be rusty that night.
At the time of filming, there is one on Facebook Marketplace
For
£650,
yeah.
and it's silver.
So, but I have only ever seen 3 of these in person, and I've owned 2. So, yeah, you don't see them at shows very often. But yeah, great addition. And one of my favourite things. Obviously, it's nice to be a little bit different. Other thing here is large rear spats. So these are from the large Tupperware kit. And is an OEM option from factory. These are genuines, but you can pick up fiberglass copies of those if you can't find any ones. And they, yeah, I think they make the rear end of the car look pretty good. Yeah, number 4, exhaust. Pretty standard on anyone who's going to modify a car. You're going to want to buy a new exhaust for, you know, I guess many reasons. You hate your neighbours, it sounds cool, it makes you have more horsepower, which it probably doesn't, let's be honest. But yeah, so this here, from what I've got on here, is I have an M2 Motorsport catback, and then we also have the, I think it's the resonated mid-pipe for them, and then a 200 cell sports cat, which has been welded in there, because they only supply this with a fake cat. So I've had that on there for a couple of years now. I think it sounds pretty good. Used to drone a little bit. We do have a video of this exhaust when my car was naturally aspirated on our channel, if you want to know what it sort of sounds like. I don't think we've done one with forced induction, but having the turbo definitely quiets this down. It doesn't drone anymore, but it's a nice deep tone in my opinion. I really like it. Quality is amazing, way better than that terrible Malian that we've got on Ollie's car. Whoa. And yeah, fitment's spot on.
So, number 3, and this might be a bit of a rogue one to some people, but short center console, which deletes all of this. Now, you may be thinking, why is this number 3? There's so much better on this car than a center console. But when you're driving, you don't have this hard plastic that you keep banging your elbow on. I'm sure there's a clip of us somewhere banging our elbows on this. So if we can find it, we'll insert it here.
The worst bit is that it's very hard.
For the sake of what it is, it makes such a difference when you're driving. This centre console is the one with the electric windows. Rob originally did have windy windows because he's got a Povo spec, but we've installed electric windows. If you want to see that video, go find it on our channel. So it incorporates the electric windows, which is nice. It also comes with a new gator, which is something that I might be considering because I need to replace my gator and I don't want to spend money on just a gator. I might as well get the full delete kit. And the metal ring as well. It's top quality. Like, it's not
Rub your ring. Go on.
So this is a DCN Performance short stubby console. They also make bits to cover up the petrol cap and boot release, which Rob doesn't have because I think that was like another 80 quid on top.
Yeah, very expensive.
The centre console delete itself is about 180.
It's something crazy like that, yeah.
It is expensive for what it is, but if it saves you bashing your elbow every 5 minutes, well worth the money in my opinion, because I like my elbows to be nice and soft. So there are some cheaper options if you don't want to spend £180 on this bit of plastic. So JAS Performance do a console delete which just comes across the bottom of this original tombstone panel, and you can get one with also electric window switches in that. And they also do a carpet, so you remove the whole thing, the whole centre console, and you just lay the carpet over the top, but you will have the rubber gear shifter surround exposed basically, and from experience that gets very, very hot when you're driving, so probably better to cover it up and have something substantial over the top of it. Brings us on to number 2. Number 2, very high up the list, is coilovers. I'd recommend to anyone that buys one of these cars, even though they handle so well out the factory, coilovers make a world of difference. I wouldn't recommend getting cheap ones off eBay because they are very bouncy, and I've been in MX-5s with cheap coilovers and it is not fun. Myself and Rob both run the HSD Monopro coilovers. We got them from Driftworks on a very good deal, one sale day. Rob likes to run his on full soft because he's got arthritis. I like to run mine about halfway, which is okay for the UK roads, but I probably wouldn't take it any further unless I was going on track. For options in the sort of price range, you're looking at BCBRs, which are about 900. You're looking at teens, like the mid-range teens, they're about 650 to 700, I believe. I mean, if it was me and I had to buy again, I'd either go for the HSD Monopros again, or I'd just upgrade, pay a little bit extra, go for the BCs.
Brings us swiftly onto number 1. What do you think it is? What's it going to be? It's quite obviously going to be forced induction, and I'm going to say forced induction as a global term, so either supercharger or turbo, yeah. Obviously I have gone for a TD04 turbo setup here, which we did a full build series on. There's a playlist somewhere.
I think it's probably below rather
It
than
might
above,
be down
but-
there, might be up there. So
Yeah.
selfish plug. What I will say, this completely changes this car. As you're probably aware, we've harped on about MX-5s handling great from factory. They are a great driver's car. However, as much as you're going to be reluctant to admit it, they're bloody slow, right? Especially in 2024. So if you're going up against anyone, you know, all your mates with their EcoBeast 1 litres and their pop and bangs maps, they're going to kill you with this, aren't they? Because you've got this 1.6, right? I think came out of the factory with 100 horsepower or something, right? It did not move. So slow. I was, you know, you're going up to the red line. So what I will say is, if you're bored of the car but you love it, and you've got a bit of money to spend, you're thinking, oh, I might buy another car, why don't you turbocharge it or supercharge it? I turbocharged because on a 1.6 the gains for a supercharger aren't worth the outlay in terms of finances. This was a full motorsport electronics kit, ECU, every nut and bolt, intercooler, the lot, with the addition of, I bought a Flywater clutch. We installed it ourselves. I had the clutch installed by our local MX-5 specialist, but however, I think in total the build cost was probably, for the turbo, probably 3,800-ish. But we're talking injectors, that's the upgraded ECU, so the ME442, which is more expensive.
Intercooler.
Yeah, intercooler, the egg. I mean, it pretty much came with a lot, really, and that's with the clutch and the flywheel in there as well. If you're looking to pay someone to fit it, I mean, on their website they do say that they can do it for £2,500 or something, but that's less than the kit cost, so I don't see how that's possible. I think that's just outdated. I know someone that had one done at M-Tech, which is a subsidiary of Motorsport Electronics, and I think it cost about 5,500. So, you know, I'd probably save about £1,500 in doing it. It's not a difficult job. The worst thing is taking off all the old stuff, basically. Other than that, you're just bolting stuff up. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, and like Whooshy Boy noises, that is the best thing that you can do to your MX-5. It just is great. There are obviously some drawbacks. You're now poor, and you do lose reliability apparently, but I don't know whether that's if you cheap out the kit. Obviously if you're buying eBay manifolds, you want a cast manifold rather than like a welded one, like exhaust bits. Some people fit cheaper injectors and stuff like that, but I haven't really spared much expense on this build, so I'm hoping we've done probably 1,000 miles, so not a lot, but hoping it should be good. A little bonus one here as well for you, because completely forgot to even consider this for the list. So, but actually, it should be up there. Really,
I'd say top 3.
it's going to be in the top 5 for me, top 3 for Ollie. So, this is a. It's not a roll cage. They're really roll bars, I think, or a half cage is probably the best way to put it. But essentially, you're going to need one of these if you're going to be tracking your car, or if you're going to be driving it around like an idiot, right? The windscreen of a convertible of this era cannot hold the weight of the car like they can in new cars, right? So without a cage, if you was to roll it, you're going to look like a pancake.
Yeah, you probably have a bit of a flat head.
Yeah, you can look like a flat tyre.
Yeah.
These are bolt-in, so you drill holes through the bottom of the chassis, which is something I need to look at because I definitely didn't rust protect that when I did it, so it's something I need to go back and do. It's not overly difficult. Did it on my driveway. I think it looks really good. This one here is from Invicta Motorsport. They're not very well known. I haven't actually seen another one with one at any shows or anything, but the reason I bought theirs was because they would put it in whatever colour you wanted. So I think you can have anything from the RAL colour scheme. I think that's right.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And they will powder coat it in that colour before sending it to you. All the other ones tend to come in black, so you'd have to then, if you wanted it, you know, I've got a white and blue thing going on here. I don't think you quite got that. If you wanted it in white, I'd then have to get it powder coated again. But other options, Dayfab make one that looks really good. GC
Fab, yeah.
TR Lane. I think that's the main ones. Most of them are bolt-in. There are a couple ones that are weld-in. I mean, essentially they will do the same thing. Only thing you want to be careful, obviously, buy one that works with the soft top that you've got. Some don't work with glass windows. This one goes both ways. Some don't.
So thanks for watching this video, guys. Bit different, but we thought we'd update you on what our favourite mods we've done so far. There are more mods coming for the Mark 1 and the Mark 2, so stay tuned for them. Like, subscribe, and they'll be coming soon. So we've got some new ideas coming up for the channel, so stay tuned for those. They'll be coming very shortly. Make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications on so that you can be notified when we go live with a new video. T-shirts, put a comment down below if you would be interested in having a t-shirt. They're not going to be expensive, just something to support the channel, you know. A few people have said that they want a t-shirt like me I'm wearing today. So please comment, please like, please subscribe,